So before we start talking about my ownership experience, let me tell you why I bought the Hunter in first place. So the very first thing that I want to talk about is the handlebar of the motorcycle. To resolve this issue, what I've done, if you are going on a long tour, then do not rely on the fuel gauge. I will do it later. I will fix the seat as well, but for now I have installed this backrest. If you are owning a Hunter, if you are planning to own a Hunter, then you must know this, that the suspension, the rear suspension of the Hunter are very stiff. And by the way, you can settle on the motorcycle only if you have installed the handlebar riser, mirrors of the motorcycle, which honestly are of no good use. I mean, as you can see, I have put this motorcycle in the side stand and the ground is a flat level, but still my motorcycle is pretty much straight up. Hi everyone, welcome back. Welcome to a new stay, new story and a new vlog. And in this one I'm going to be talking about my 1 year ownership experience of this Royal Enfield Hunter 350. So I've been riding this motorcycle for the past 1 year, and there are so many things that I want to discuss, that I want to talk about this motorcycle. And today we have got the day, we have got the opportunity and the location as well. I hope you can see the Himalayas behind me. So before we start talking about my ownership experience, let me tell you why I bought the Hunter in first place. While buying the motorcycle, I had a couple of things in my mind. First one, I was looking for a motorcycle that obviously looks good, sounds good, does not have a high revving engine, and which can be used as a commuter and occasional touring motorcycle. And obviously Royal Enfield Hunter clicked all those boxes and I booked this motorcycle. And now let's talk about the ownership experience. First of all, I'm going to talk about the cons of the motorcycle. So the very first thing that I want to talk about is the handlebar of the motorcycle. What I'm trying to say here is, when I bought the motorcycle, in just 1 month of riding the motorcycle, I felt that the stock handlebar are not very much comfortable. So if you're riding this motorcycle for a short spin, then there is no issue. But if you're riding it for more than 100 kilometers, or should I say more than 1 hour of riding, then it can cause trouble to your shoulders, to your back, and certainly to your palms also. To resolve this issue, what I've done is I have installed these handlebar risers on my motorcycle. With the help of these risers, I can ride on this motorcycle much more comfortable than I used to do before. So after installing these handlebar risers, of course my ride became much more comfortable, and I have posted the video of the same on my channel as well. Now, after the handlebar, another issue that I faced with the motorcycle is the fuel gauge of this motorcycle. I mean, you must have heard this so many times, that the fuel gauge of the motorcycle is not very reliable. If you are going on a long tour, then do not rely on the fuel gauge. Let me tell you this, because it doesn't give you a correct information about the fuel capacity of your motorcycle. So how to solve this issue? Well, you have to rely on your muscle power and your hearing sensation. You have to shake your bike like that and you will hear that the fuel is making noise. Then you can be certain that yes, there is enough fuel in your motorcycle. So this is the only way to check the fuel capacity of this motorcycle. Alright, so the third thing that I noticed that was causing trouble to me, that is the seat of the motorcycle. I mean, not the rider's seat, because this is spacious and has a well padded cushion. I'm talking about the pillion seat, because this is very short and certainly it does not have that much of a real estate, and that is the reason that the pillion doesn't always feel very comfortable riding on this motorcycle. So to solve this issue, what I've done, as you can see over here, I have installed this backrest and top rack carrier. So far I have not done anything to the seat of the motorcycle, because in my locality I could not find anyone who could do it in a, what should I say, perfect way. I will do it later. I will fix the seat as well, but for now I have installed this backrest so that the pillion feels comfortable on this motorcycle. Since it is a very torquey engine, sometimes it can also happen that if you just pull your throttle, your pillion might just slip to the back end of the motorcycle. That can be very scary. Okay, so there's one more issue that I want to mention, the pillion seat. Okay, yes, the pillion seat is not very comfortable. I mean, I have installed these backrest to enhance the comfort, but there is one more thing. I mean, if you are a tall pillion, if you are a pillion of my height, like per se 171 centimeter or above, you will see that my legs are in a very sharp angled position, I mean, which is not very comfortable for long tours. I mean, if you are a short pillion, if your pillion is of a short height, then he or she can easily sit on the motorcycle and feel, you know, comfortable. You can see my legs are very cramped. I'm in a very cramped position. After this, I want to talk about a very important point that has plagued this motorcycle, and not only this motorcycle but also the riders across the country. If you are owning a Hunter, if you are planning to own a Hunter, then you must know this, that the suspension, the rear suspension of the Hunter are very stiff. I mean, it is almost like a, you know, straight iron rod that has been attached to the motorcycle. It is like that. It is that hard. The suspension of the Hunter are so horrible that it feels like they are not even there. I mean, you see, I ride solo and I ride with my Pillion also. When I ride solo, I mean, I can saddle over the bumps. I mean, if a bump comes across in my way, I can simply saddle over it. And by the way, you can saddle on the motorcycle only if you have installed the handlebar riser. On the stock handles, you cannot, you know, saddle on the motorcycle. So yes, as I was saying, with the stock suspension, I mean, you can still saddle over the potholes and the broken roads and the speed breakers that come across your way in high speeds. But if you are riding with the Pillion, then the main issue arises. I mean, you see that your Pillion cannot saddle on the motorcycle, and your Pillion has to face the wrath of the very hard suspension. So to solve this issue, what I've done on my motorcycle is I have changed the suspension of my Hunter. I have changed them to classic old gen nitrox suspension, and with the help of these suspension, my life has become so much better. Now if you want to know more about the installation process of these suspension, I've posted a detailed video, in fact 2 detailed videos on my channel. Go check them out, but certainly watch this video first. So yes, there are 2 things about if you want to install the nitrox suspension, you have to do some little bit of modifications to your motorcycle, which I have explained in detail in that video. But if you want to avoid that, you can also install the classic reborn suspension. I mean, those are a direct fit. Of course, the reborn suspension doesn't come with a nitrox canister, but if you want that, you can do that as well. I installed these 350 old gen suspension because I could not find the reborn suspension near my dealership. So that was pretty much it. These were some cons of the motorcycle that I faced, that I felt they were worth mentioning, and I did so. Now I want to talk about the pros of this motorcycle. Now I want to tell you this, that the majority of my riding experience has been from the hills. You see, I'm on the hills right now. As you can see, the majestic Himalayas behind me, and I have also ridden in the highways also. So the very first thing that I liked about this motorcycle is the compact nature of this motorcycle. And by saying compact, I want to emphasize the fact that it has a very decent and very comfortably low seat height. I mean, I'm not a very tall guy. I'm just 171 centimeters high, and with that I can easily flat foot on this motorcycle. And why is it important to have a flat foot on the motorcycle? Well, because it gives you confidence while riding in the hills. You know, in the hills we don't have that much broad roads. We have narrow roads here, and sometimes we have to get off the road to give way to the oncoming vehicle or oncoming big vehicle, rather say trucks also. So in that case, having a flat foot can give you a major advantage, especially if you're a beginner rider or a short rider. Another major advantage I found in this motorcycle was, again, the size of the motorcycle. Not just size, because if you look at this motorcycle, it has a shorter wheelbase, right? So shorter wheelbase, small tires, it means amazing handling capability. You see, this motorcycle is very easy to maneuver, very easy to control in the corners. It can dip in very easily, you can lift it back. So all in all, this gives you a very pleasurable riding experience in the hills. In the corners, this motorcycle rides absolutely amazing. Another thing that I liked about the motorcycle is the engine of the motorcycle. Now this is a tried and tested classic 350. You must have seen on the classic Reborn also. This comes with, I don't know about the exact power figures, I don't really care about the power figures. I want to tell you how it behaves in the hills. Now classic 350 is itself a benchmark, right? So this has the same engine but a lot less weight, and that translates into an amazing power to weight ratio. Now I have ridden this motorcycle with Pillion and luggage on it. I can assure you it will pull you, your Pillion, and certainly your luggage on it. Now do not expect the crazy amount of power delivery from this motorcycle. This is not made for that. I mean, it's a low revving classic engine which gives you a very calm and a smooth riding experience. So this is made for that. If you are into that category which rides your motorcycles in a calm manner, then this motorcycle is certainly made for you. Alright, with that being said, I want to talk about the touring aspect of this motorcycle. Now this motorcycle is not made for touring, let's face it. I mean, this is a street motorcycle, but in today's era you can pretty much tour on anything. I mean, you can tour on a motorcycle, you can tour on a cycle, hell, you can tour on a scooter as well. In that regard, this motorcycle can be converted into a touring machine, and you have to be ready for certain modifications. The first modification that I did to make this motorcycle touring worthy are these handlebar risers, which I have already talked about. I mean, with the help of these handlebar risers, I can easily tour on it without much discomfort to my back, to my hands or my shoulder. The second modification I did was for my pillion rider, this backrest and the top rack carrier. This is from Banido's pit stop, and the maximum capacity of this top rack carrier is 14 kilograms. You can put 14 kgs of your luggage over here, and this is very sturdy and very comfortable. This backrest provides ample amount of comfort to your pillion rider, which this short seat is unable to provide. Alright, so there is a bird flying over our head. Now let's talk about the modifications for your luggage needs. Now I have installed these saddle stays, and these are from MOTOTORQ accessories. If you are riding with your pillion, then this is a must-have accessory. I mean, you cannot carry everything on this top rack carrier, so for that you guys must have to have these saddle stays. You can install any sort of saddle bags on your motorcycle. I have installed a RYNOX nomad saddle bag, but there is one issue with those bags. If you will install those bags over here, you will see that the bags will come in contact with your exhaust very easily. There are chances that the saddle bag might come in contact with your exhaust, and that thing can turn your saddle bags into a roasted kebab. So how to solve that issue, how to fix that issue? What I've done, I have installed these footrest over here, and these act as a dual purpose thing, right? First of all, it will provide comfort to your pillion's feet, and secondly, it will also act as a barrier between this exhaust and your saddle bag. Your saddle bag will stay on it, and it will protect your saddle bag from getting in contact with the hot exhaust. In that way, you can protect your saddle bags and also give comfort to your pillion. Alright, now let's talk about some small but important parts of this motorcycle. Now, the very first issue of concern that rises among the new buyers or the fellow hunter owners is that the low ground clearance of the motorcycle. I want to talk about this now. As you can see, this is very low right now. Of course, the ground clearance is low, but you have to consider the fact that the wheelbase is also very short, right? This motorcycle has compensated its low ground clearance by making the wheelbase shorter. And with that, what happened? I have ridden this, like I said, I've ridden this motorcycle for the past 1 year, and there has been not a single issue that I've ever touched the belly of the motorcycle. It is very much safe from everything below your motorcycle. And to further add the protection, I have installed this BASHPLATE from MOTOTORQ accessories, and link to all the products has been given in the description box. If you want to check them out, you can do that as well. Let's talk about the clutch now. Clutch is I won't say it's super light. I mean, it's not worth complaining. So I've seen so many people complaining around the hard clutch of the motorcycle. Well, in my opinion, this clutch is not that hard. If you are finding your clutch hard, so I posted a video on my channel how to fix that issue. Chances are your clutch might need a little bit of oiling, and that might fix your issue. Another thing that I want to mention is the mirrors of the motorcycle, which honestly are of no good use. I mean, if you simply start the motorcycle, look at here, just I want to give you a closer look. If I just start the motorcycle, you'll see that the mirror has started vibrating, right? What happens is that if you give a little bit of throttle, the mirror vibrates even more. So at the speeds of 60 or above, your mirrors are good for nothing. Okay, these vibrates a lot, and you do not get the clear rear visibility. That can be a major issue if you're riding in a tight space traffic, because while riding a motorcycle, all your eyes should be open, and these mirrors act like eyes only. So in order to fix that issue, I've seen people going for a different set of mirrors, different pair of mirrors. You can do that as well. There are plenty of options in the market. So yeah, there is this issue as well. So yes, there is this issue that you have to keep in mind while riding or buying this motorcycle. Okay, we have spoken about pretty much everything. Now there's one thing that I want to mention, which is not a very major thing. And the thing is the side stand of this motorcycle. Now, what is the issue with the side stand of the motorcycle? As you can see, I have put this motorcycle in the side stand, and the ground is a flat level, but still my motorcycle is pretty much straight up, right? So it is very easy to shake motorcycle like this. Okay, so what happens is that if you are not cautious of your motorcycle, then someone can easily move your motorcycle like this. So what I'm trying to emphasize here, that this motorcycle should have more tilt while in the side stand. So yes, there's this issue, and you have to be very, very careful about this motorcycle, because this thing happened with me also. I was not aware of the position of my motorcycle, and my motorcycle simply fell and I broke my clutch lever. So if you don't want this thing happen to you also, you have to be careful about it. Alright everyone, so everything has been discussed. I hope everything has been covered. I hope I did not miss any point. If I did, do let me know in the comments and we will discuss it there. Apart from that, I hope you find this video helpful, you find this video informative, and if you did, don't forget to like and certainly do not forget to subscribe. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, with that being said, let's just wind up this video. Dream big, fight for it. Ab bas.